Everybody, welcome back to that Transformers channel, and I hear people. The voices are back, guys. No, but I hear people walking around me, so that'll be really annoying. I like to record when nobody can hear me anyway. I just finished Transformers Prime. I forgot to do the intro. In today's video, I'll be going over my initial thoughts on Transformers Prime, also known as Transformers Peak. Holy crap, that was so good. Wow. I did not expect this to hold up as well as it does. I was expecting something good by Transformers fan standards, something excellent by Transformers fan standards. I wasn't expecting something that transcends its kid show, Transformer show status. It was a little too good. I liked it a little too much. I was pleasantly surprised. First off, the characters, wow. Wow, this was fantastic. What? I'm gonna start off with Wheeljack. He was great. I wasn't sure how I was gonna feel about him not being a scientist, them changing his character, and that works for me. It worked with his character, and the whole bulkhead thing, and him being a wrecker. I thought that was kind of neat. Again, I would have preferred him to be a scientist, but they kind of had Ratchet. And I'm just happy that Wheeljack was in the show and that he wasn't a terrible character. I don't mind change as long as it's reasonable and it doesn't make the character worse, because he was plenty of fun. I just wish he was in the show more. I know he shows up later on with the Terracons and stuff like that. But as far as season 1 goes, I wish we got more. But that episode was really intriguing. What was it? What was his name? What was it? I think it was like Chameleon or something like that. No, was it Chameleon? It was something like Chameleon themed. The Transformer that can turn to anyone. Talk about a character that you just forget about, because he was in the show for one episode, but it was a really, really good episode. It's weird that they introduced 2 whole characters that just are not there for the rest of the season. Do those models not take time and effort to make? So I guess he was fine. Didn't do anything. On the Decepticon side, another character that was only in the show for 3 seconds, Skyquake. I was really excited to see Skyquake because I heard that his figure is really, really good. He's on my list, actually. But I don't really want it anymore because he wasn't in the show for more than 3 seconds. He came in and died. He did come back as a zombie, but I don't know. That's not even the same character, really. That was strange. Because Skycake, holy crap. Skyquake was kind of cool, though. I did like him for the 3 seconds he was on screen. I guess I'm going to mention this now because I know I'll forget, but their killing rules were a little inconsistent and very weird. It was hard for me to watch the Autobots talk about honor and how if Prime was here, he wouldn't do this. When, every episode, we see them absolutely obliterating the nameless Decepticons that are just, the foot soldiers. They're the Chitauri of the Transformers universe. They're just killing them left and right. They're, beating the heck out of them. And then, the iconic Ratchet. That is a Decepticon minor scene. When he's you shouldn't torture him. Okay, but snapping their necks is fine, I guess. But then you see B be upset. You see Bumblebee upset when RC's about to kill Starscream. That's a bad thing? Huh? And it wasn't even he was defenseless. He was beating the crap out of her. And then she won the fight. This is the exact same as the characters that the nameless background characters they're killing every episode. Why do they care? I mean, I know why the writers care, because they need them, because they're main characters. But then they go and kill characters like the Chameleon guy and Skyquake. Bumblebee rips this man's guts out. Full on. And he explodes. Or I don't know if he explodes, because he comes back as a zombie. I feel like I remember him exploding, but maybe he doesn't. Anyway, it's kind of a brutal way to kill a guy, don't you think? And then he has the nerve to look at RC with disappointment for being about to kill Starscream, one of the Decepticons, most important members, the second in command, and he's no, how could you? As if he didn't just rip out this man's spine a couple episodes ago. I would say that's a nitpick, but it's just so distracting. I mean, they could have done like an interesting thing about questioning the morals of what they do, and if war gives them the justification to, you know, brutally kill people, but they didn't do anything like that. So, you know, back to the characters. Little note here, talk about the fight scenes later because I know I'll forget. What I did, Wheeljack, Skyquake, Chameleon Guy. Let's do the Autobots. Optimus was great. He was so great in this. I mean, very, very pleasantly surprised there. I mean, I didn't think he would be bad, but like Peter Cullen did fantastically. Like, this is peak Prime. I think he might actually be my favorite Prime. It's kind of weird to talk about what I like about him because I don't really like... He was just really good. Bumblebee was another pleasant... Actually, all of the characters were pleasant surprises. Bumblebee, I really liked. He got like the least screen time out of all the Autobots, which is crazy because he's like, you know, the most popular Transformers character. But the him not talking thing worked really well. I like the like beeps, you know, I like the R2-D2 noises he made as opposed to the radio. That was, obviously they did that probably for like budget reasons, or not budget, but just like it's easier. But it gave him a little quirk, and it meant that people could like understand him. He just couldn't talk that well. And it made more sense than Bayverse. It was done way better than Bayverse. He was good fun. RC was great. Insert joke about how horny I am. I see why people like her a lot, although the whole her and Arachnid thing kind of carried on a little bit too much. I'll talk about that later. But I loved her character, and I loved her relationship with Jack. Bulkhead was another pleasant surprise. I didn't expect to like him that much. I was never a fan of his design. I never really liked it. I didn't vibe with him being this round, big thing. But it works super well with his character, and it makes sense with his vehicle mode, and I just liked it. It worked very well. That was like a needless complaint. Oh, I have so much to talk about. I'm not going to record another hour-long thing like I did for Rise of the Beast. I don't want to do that. But I liked Bulkhead. Ratchet, I wasn't like pleasantly surprised. I didn't have any crazy expectations for him. But then he had to go and be my favorite character. What? I loved Ratchet. He was like the best part of the show for me. Well, not the best. There were a lot of good parts, but he was definitely my favorite character. I love how much he was pretty much racist at the beginning, and then he grew to like the humans. That was very, very, very cool. I loved Ratchet. The human characters, you know what? Noah Diaz who. I'm all about Jack and Raph and Nico. Well, maybe not so much. I like Jack a lot, surprisingly. But Miko and Raph, they both have little annoying quirks to them that I don't like. Which works. I think that's intentional. Like, Miko being incredibly, incredibly annoying. I think that's, like, the point of her character, and she's gonna grow out of that in the next season, hopefully. So I can really look past that. And Raph, I don't know, it's just... I didn't like him that much. I think it was mostly his voice acting that I wasn't a crazy fan of. But I guess I could kind of see past that. I didn't like how he was just Mr. Math, and he was like, in some episodes had the nerve to say he was smarter than Ratchet. I'm like, no, just straight up no, that makes no sense. But it seemed like later on in the season, they made him more of like a nerdy kid who knows computers well, which is reasonable and happens in the real world, and less of a smarter than a Cybertronian, can hack into the US, like, database, like, easily, kid. When they were like, oh, I could hack into the US's computers, I'm sitting there like, no, what? No. Oh, man, I can't remember if he did or not. Yeah, because I had to go to the actual place, and Soundwave was there, so I'm not sure. Other human characters, there was Agent Fowler. I thought it was pretty funny. I didn't expect to even remotely like him, but I like how he had this little arc of learning to like the Autobots and helping them out, and, you know, stuff like that. That was good. I liked Fowler. And June, Jack's mom. Insert horny joke about Jack's mom. She was a good character too. Good overprotective parent thing. Very relatable. And I thought that all worked out. That all made sense. Her little arc with RC, that was good. I mean, her like being like, I don't want my son to hang out with these giant robots. It seems like a Breaking Bad thing where Skylar doesn't want Walt to cook meth, and you're like, how dare she? Because obviously you want Walt to cook meth because it's a TV show, but then you have to step back and realize that what they're doing is super dangerous and bad, and Skylar's 100% in the right for not wanting Walt to cook meth, and you're like, yeah, maybe her son probably shouldn't be with these giant robots, because we've seen time and time again that, like, the child characters will go with the Autobots on a routine scout mission because they're friends, and then almost die. I get that they're very capable, which I liked. They can definitely hold their own and help out the Autobots. But they're squishy little guys. One wrong move and they're dead. If it weren't for their plot armor, they get tossed around a bit. So, like, his mom was completely in the right for not wanting him to go on these adventures. It was actually, it was a scene in, like, the 3-part finale for the first season. Why am I saying the first season? The 3-part finale for the season? I only watched the first season. I don't have to specify what season I'm talking about. Where Megatron was like, "And you, I never forget a face," or something like that. I expected there to be some drama about the fact that he met Megatron, this person that his mom knows is, like, evil incarnate, and she's there, and just doesn't question it. I was expecting there to be some drama about how he's supposedly safe, but was in, like, a massive cave-in and almost died. But no, there was no drama there, so that came out of nowhere. I feel like his mom would have been a little concerned about him meeting Megatron, but that didn't get addressed, which surprised me. But yeah, June was fine. And fine in another way, too. But that's irrelevant. Okay, we talked about the characters, Decepticons. We can talk about the Decepticons. The Decepticons. I forgot what I was going to talk about, so we can move on to the Decepticons. Oh, man. Oh, man, why are they so good? Why do I love them so much? Absolute best Megatron. Megatron was great. He was so great. His everything, it all just worked. He wasn't, like, mindless evil. Well, he kind of was, kind of wasn't. I can't really tell with that guy, but that's what I love so much about him. He was so great. I loved him. Starscream. Dude, why'd they gotta make me, like, love him so much? He's so perfect. His whole trying to be leader, and then the whole thing with Megatron. Bruh. I can't even... It sucks when something is so perfect and you don't know how to explain how perfect it is because it's that good. This is like the best Starscream we've gotten. I love him so much. I love his voice actor. All of the voice acting in the show is incredible. Like, way better than it has any right to be. First off, Peter Cullen and Frank Welker, of course. We don't even have to bother addressing that there. But Bulkhead, Ratchet, RC, Starscream especially have such amazing and talented voice actors voicing them that you can feel the emotion. They're all so unique. Like, they're kind of perfect with the voice acting, and I love it so much. Like, Arachnid was maybe the only Transformer whose voice I wasn't the craziest fan of. They kind of tried to do the semi-hot, semi-seductive, but, like, also kid-friendly, like, female character trope that I kind of always hated. Hated it as a kid because it felt cringy to watch. Hate it now because it's just dumb. Like, either go the full way. I get they can't make her, like, super hot because, you know, kid show, but that character in general, like, the whole point is to be, like, seductive, and that, it didn't work, in my opinion. Again, it's like the censoring almost aspect of it. Or maybe it's not even censoring, maybe they just didn't feel like going the full way. I just didn't like Arachnid that much. I mean, she worked for RC. That's his whole thing, because their whole hating each other for the whole season dragged on too much. I did not care after the 3rd episode focused on it. I'm sorry. I like development as much as the next guy, but, like, So that was the only voice acting I didn't like. But that's it for voice acting. What was I talking about before? I can't remember. I got interrupted, because of course I do. I can't go one of these recordings without being interrupted. It's literally tradition. So... Poopity doopity, poopy whoopies, poopy poopy. Alright. Wow. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. Okay, so I talked about all the characters I liked. I was on Starscream and how much I liked his voice acting. Okay. So, I already talked about all the other voice acting, but, personally, my favorite voice actor in the show had to go to Soundwave. Like, holy crap. I'm not sure who they got to play him, but he is a mastermind. His performances were so, like, emotional. I felt every word he said. He was, like, the best character in the show, by far. But in all seriousness, I think that, Soundwave was so cool. Like, so cool. I mean, yeah, no vocoded voice. But I didn't really care. Because the whole him not talking thing was sick. At the end, when, like the coolest scene in the show where Arachnid is about to take control of the Decepticons, and Soundwave stands his ground, and he's like, no. He doesn't even speak. I was waiting for him to speak. I was like, oh, if he says anything, it's going to be so hype. And he doesn't. He says nothing. He just stands there and puts that female in her place. Yeah. Yeah, Soundwave. Sigma Wave. Sigma male Soundwave. Very cool. Also, I vaguely remember him being called Shockwave at like in the first couple episodes. I'm gonna have to attempt to fact check it. I probably won't be able to find anything. But that confused me for a second because it seemed like Soundwave, and I feel like Starscream called him Shockwave. So I'm not sure if that was like a mistake or not, or I'm just being stupid because it probably didn't actually happen. The only other real Autobot / Decepticon characters that I haven't talked about in this show were, Unicron, but I'll talk about him. There was Cliffjumper and Tailgate. Now, I literally don't know who Tailgate is. Again, there's just too much Transformers stuff, and I'm pretty new still. I'm not like a casual anymore, I'd say. But, like, I've only watched Bayverse, G1, and now Prime. Oh yeah, and War for Cybertron. You know, and my, I really only know anything about the Studio Series and, War for Cybertron line of toys. Like, I'm not a big Transformers fan quite yet. Well, I'm a big fan, but I'm not like the crazy I know everything about it fan yet. And I have no clue who Tailgate is. I vaguely remember hearing his name in a review a while ago. Like him getting brought up or mentioned. So I don't know who Tailgate is. And it was obvious that he was just a repaint of Cliffjumper. And I don't know, that was kind of weird because they didn't want to make a model for a character that gets killed off, and they like barely show him, didn't have a voice actor or anything. And the whole point of that was just so we had a reason to, you know, be invested in Jack and RC's relationship and not like Arachnid for what she did. But I don't know, it could have been, I don't know what they could have done there. I just don't think it should have been the "you killed my partner" plotline again after Cliffjumper died. So, you know, that's whatever. I mean, like, all that being said, I just didn't like the Tailgate thing. I don't know what else they could have done, but I don't think it should have been the "my partner's dead" thing. It was even worse because it literally looked like Cliffjumper with like a bit of white on him because it was the same model, just repainted. So it's kind of goofy, I can't lie. And the only other character I didn't talk about, Cliffjumper, the GOAT. First off, I saw a lazy eyebrow review for a Transformer that looks like him, and now I want it. Like, I don't think I finished the review because I didn't know who the character was, but I really want that Transformer now because I loved his design. Wasn't the craziest fan of like the chest or the face of the robot, but I don't know, there's just something about it. He was a cool car. Not to mention, can you smell what? No, but they got The Rock to play him? Are you serious? That is like the best way to start off a show. Get The Rock to play a character who dies at the beginning. I'm not sure how true this is, but I have heard on the interwebs that The Rock has a deal in his current contracts where he can't take but so many hits and he can't die and he can't be a villain, which is apparently why Black Adam was so bad and controversial. But holy crap, like, watching him get killed was weird. I've never seen The Rock die before. And obviously they did that because they can't afford to have The Rock in, like, every episode. And they need to, I don't know. I'll talk about, like, the story implications of that later. But they got The Rock to play a Transformer, guys. That's really cool. It was not so much cool as it is actually just downright hilarious. I don't even know why they did that. They didn't have to. Did they, like, when they were promoting the new show, were they like, oh, by the way, we have The Rock in it? They probably did something like that, actually. I'll look that up, too. So those are the characters. What about the story, you know, the meat, the thing that endears me to these characters? The story was good. That was a really solid first episode, or I think it was first couple of episodes, because it was all like to be continued and stuff before they got like completely episodic. And it was good. I was like immediately intrigued, which I didn't expect. I'll mention it now, but I have watched Prime before, kind of. It was a Transformers show I grew up with. Everybody has that show they grew up with. For some people it's G1, for some people it's Beast Wars, some people it's animated, some people it's Prime, some people it's Robots in Disguise. I feel so bad for you. I feel so bad for the kids who have to grow up with Earthspark. That'll suck. But the Transformer shows for me were Prime and Rescue Bots. I loved Rescue Bots, actually. I had a couple Rescue Bots. I gave Bumblebee and Optimus to my cousin. But I still have my, I think his name is Blades, somewhere. I can actually go find it. But yeah, I liked Rescue Bots, and that was airing along the same time. And I know it's in the aligned continuity. I vaguely know what that is. It's like, I'm not going to try to explain. I'm going to look stupid. But I have no clue how that fits in the canon with Prime. Okay, wow, tangent. That was such a tangent. But as a kid, I never liked Prime. And it's really weird because when I was watching the show, I expected to remember some things. I remembered the characters. I only remembered the characters. And I didn't even remember Arachnid or Soundwave. But I remember like everyone else, or like Jack's mom. I don't think I ever watched season 1 because I don't remember a single thing that happened. And that could just be my memory. But most shows I watched when I was a kid, I can like point out things I've already seen. So it's really weird. I felt the same way for Transformers, like the Bayverse movies. I had watched a couple of them on like TV, like cable. But I don't remember it. All I could remember was Bumblebee getting captured by Sector 7 and a bunch of miscellaneous stuff from Age of Extinction, so yeah, that was weird. I never liked Prime as a kid, and I don't remember why. I want to say it's because I thought it was boring, which is totally possible, but I don't know what it is. I don't think I like the style. I don't think I like the characters, and I mean, I wasn't a Transformers fan, but like with my mature 16-year-old movie reviewing taste, it's so good. Why didn't I like it? It's really, really good. It's like incredible. I don't know why I didn't like it. It might just be because of like how slow and grounded the story is. That could very well be it. I don't know. But it's not even slow at times. They do a lot of fun stuff. I don't know. And then that doesn't explain why I liked Rescue Bots. You can't explain it away with, I just didn't like Transformers. I am so lost right now. The story, that's what I was talking about. The story of the show is really good. The first episode really intrigued me. I didn't expect that. I mean, you start a show off with The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, driving around in a PS2 looking background, and then immediately he gets killed off. Like, well, great. Now this is my new favorite show. The first episode, it feels almost like dated because the animations were kind of whatever. Some of the textures even, they looked like low res, like, and I'm not even talking like on my TV. Wait, actually, you know what? Okay, I watched a couple episodes on my TV. So maybe I just noticed because it was on my TV, and I didn't notice because I watched like the rest of it on my phone. But at least on like the episodes I watched, or at least on like the first episode, I could tell that like the textures were low res and it looked so dated. Along with the backgrounds, like some of the backgrounds actually look like they're from a PS2 game. The city where we see like Jack, like you can see where the map ends. That is like funny to me. This isn't a complaint on the show. It's not even a nitpick because I understand, you know, and it was like the first episode. They had a lot to do for a first episode. I completely understand. I just think it was funny. That's all. Oh, crap. I mean, oh, scrap. Teehee. Anyway. I'm getting sick and tired of people interrupting my recording, so I think I'm just gonna move out of 16. That sounds like a great idea. Anyway, because I can't just, do a recording and get all my thoughts out in one place, I get to completely forget about all of the points I had previously, and the recording is already 30 minutes, so I think I'm gonna end it here. I would actually be more than happy to go over some of my thoughts. I think I didn't get to talk about things like Arachnid and RC. I didn't like that. You know, other stuff that I didn't get to talk about. I didn't even get to touch on Unicron, which was a big deal. So, you know what? If this video gets 3 likes, I will make a part 2 or something like that. Or I don't know. If you're actually watching this video, because we're kind of at not that many subs and you watched all the way to the end, honestly, like one comment identifying that there's even the slightest want for this to happen, and I'll make a part 2. Hopefully before I completely forget, though, because I'm already like starting to forget. And also, if you stuck around this long, please let me know in the comments where I can watch Transformers Prime Season 2, because I watched Prime Season 1 on Netflix, and the rest isn't there. This was recorded around the same time as the G1 haul, a little bit before that, and I just never got around to editing it. But I finally did it, so I can finally move on to Season 2. I found out that Hasbro put all of Transformers Prime on like YouTube, so I'm gonna watch it, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're interested in following my TikTok, which is a thing, that will be linked in the description. Keep on transforming my goose name sandwiches, and I'll see y'all later. Peace out.